In less than an hour, New York State's rent regulations will expire. And tonight, lawmakers debated the issue that affects millions of people. But just a short time ago, they adjourned without a consensus. CBS 2's Jessica Schneider has the story.
The hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers, the millions of New Yorkers that don't know in 2 hours whether they're going to have a place to live.
Despite dire warnings, Albany lawmakers still couldn't come to an agreement. With the Senate and Assembly unable to come to terms on the rent stabilization laws, both houses went dark, and Mayor de Blasio sounded the alarm about a New York City without rent stabilization.
People would only be protected throughout their current leases, and then after that, all units would go to market rate. You know, that would be devastating for hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers.
Landlords are being warned not to take advantage of the lapse, but tenants are still concerned.
The middle class cannot afford more. We can.
Maria Cruz has lived in her Jackson Heights two-bedroom for 30 years. She's lobbying the Rent Guidelines Board for a rent rollback when they set lease rates for the 1 million stabilized apartments in New York City next week.
Working class people in New York City, their dollars are being stretched to the limit. We can't afford New York City any longer.
The board is holding public hearings to decide whether to freeze rent prices where they are or raise them up to 2% for one-year leases and up to 3.5% for two-year leases. Landlords say that's not enough.
A landslide of bad news because the taxes keep going higher and the rent control board keeps saying, no, we don't want to increase the rent.
Governor Cuomo is pledging to keep lawmakers in Albany until they pass an extension to those rent laws. And he's urging tenants to report any problems with their landlords after that midnight deadline. Jessica Schneider, CBS 2 News.